Hey there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan. This is a Mercedes-Benz SLK350. Aftermarket 19-inch wheels, lowered suspension, just 60,000 original kilometers on it. It was bought from auction for export to Canada. And I have to say, these are fantastic value at the moment. I find the SLK to be a more appealing size for a open-top convertible compared to the SL. And they tend to be fairly reliable. The tops can be a little bit problematic sometimes. We've probably exported around 30 or 40 of these and have had a problem with 2 of them. And I think people generally know about the hard top problems on the auction sheet here. The seller said it was tested and it was okay. Sometimes they'll fail after that. And then we actually had one where it opened and it leaked oil because it's a hydraulic or electro-hydraulic system. And then the top was stuck open, and then we had to go quickly buy a tarp. And so since then we don't test the tops. That's for you to test once the vehicle lands. Anyways, 3.5 liter V6 is a reasonable amount of power for this car. I think it's a great looking car. You can get it as an AMG model pretty easily here in Japan as well, if you wanted a faster one. But I think the party piece of this car is that it's a Mercedes-Benz. It's very sporty looking. It kind of has a more modern looking styling compared to vehicles only a few years earlier than it. It's good car. Now I can't say the price that we buy it for. Is private information from the person who owns this. But yeah, really good value for these. This one's odd because it's a right-hand drive, which is appropriate for Japan. Like our company cars are right-hand drive. But most of these here in Japan seem to be left-hand drive, at least the ones that we've exported. So if you do want left or right-hand drive, you can do that. I'm just going to turn the engine off here while I do the rest of the report. And I'll come back to the interior in a second. So 61,000 kilometers is even low by Japanese standards. The condition of this one all the way around is really good. There are scuffs underneath the front bumper here. That's about the worst of the body damage. The wheels are good, paint is good, interior is good. Smells a little bit like air freshener, but otherwise it's good. Quick look over the auction inspection sheet here, and I'll read this for you real quick. And sorry that the car's wet right now. You can see, normally we wouldn't want to shoot these while wet, but we've been so busy recently. Okay, so 2005 Mercedes-Benz SLK. It says Vario roof. Yeah, it's a hard top convertible. Auction grade 4 with an interior grade C. I think they're being hard on it when they say C. Actually, the inspector of this one seemed to be really picky, overly picky compared to what I've seen. So power steering, power wheels, leather, Navi and airbag, all of that is original stuff. They say it's a dealer car, which is a Japanese way of saying it's an original Japan car. Some people, I'm not sure why they think this, but some people tend to think that an original Japanese car is worth more than a gray market import. And so a lot of people will import German cars to Japan and then sell them here because sometimes you can get them for a lower price if you do that. And so original dealer car is meant to be a sales point. I'm not sure if it's true. Electric opening top is okay. Red leather seats. Xenon headlights. I think the headlights on these look awesome, especially when illuminated. You get this section here looking like cool and illuminated. A big step over the earlier generation as well. AMG exhaust on this, 19-inch wheels, Harman Kardon sound, H&R lowered suspension. It's a nice high-quality brand, mostly for Euro cars. And a trunk spoiler. And this trunk spoiler is just the AMG one. And so it still looks like it fits the body appropriately. And even though it's just a little bit of a spoiler, I bet it actually makes a difference because this kind of back end without the spoiler being round, that's going to give you pretty bad aero turbulence. I spent too much time reading on the internet about how that works. Okay, so here's the report here. It says seat is cracked. I find it's actually pretty good. Rear garnish cover is peeling. This is on basically all of the ones that I've seen. You can see there. See how it's kind of shiny, kind of not. And then both sides is like that. The paint otherwise is really good. Okay, steering wheel peeling and painted. It has some wear at the top. It's less than I thought. It doesn't look like it's painted. I think it's just a product that they put on in order to like restore it. front bumper underside has tape on it. Okay, and that's to cover up some scuffs. And it is pretty bad, but it's also underneath the bumper, so you can't really see. I'll show you in a sec. Okay, wheels scratched and rim is one of them is bent. I couldn't find the bent rim. I looked at each one in particular. And door mirror lens small crack. I couldn't find this. This one here appears to be fine. The one on the other side has let water inside, so it's probably the one with a crack, but I can't find the crack in it. I thought maybe here, but that doesn't appear to be a crack. So, I don't know. Okay, exterior has repaint and uneven paint in places, so it's the front right fender and door. I looked at them and they both looked okay to me. Various scratches and dents on it. A scuff on the underside of the cover here, and a scuff on the underside of the front bumper. So let's do a quick once around here. I think the car looks fantastic with this size of wheel and lowered suspension. I know that on a smaller car like this, a 19-inch wheel is very in your face. It's a 35 profile tire. That's going to be pretty rough suspension. And so for some buyers, going down to a 17 or an 18 might be appealing. But the look of it with those nice dished wheels, that I think is going to be kind of a thing. If you're trying to sell the car, something like that is going to bring a lot of attention to it. People want their cars to attract attention, and this certainly does with those wheels. And it's a 265 tire in the rear, 235 on the front. Okay, so this door and this fender are the ones that were repainted. I'll give you a quick look here. I look at a lot of wavy paint when I look at cars, and this is done properly, so I'm not concerned at all. This is an AMG looking front bumper, and so a lot of people in Japan will do this, including putting AMG logos on it. Like that wagon over there has an AMG badge on it, even though it's not an AMG. I don't know why that's so popular. To me, that's a no-no. Like the AMG bumper, that's fine, because you could actually order them from the factory with the AMG bumper if you wanted. But to pretend you actually have an AMG when you don't, that's pretty weak. Okay, the trunk is kind of fun. You can put stuff in it. And the trunk, like the roof goes in it. Well engineered, I think, because that's a big roof to be putting in a relatively small trunk. And then you can even put stuff in while the roof is down. And so you have this cool little thing. You put this in to place, and you actually can't even put the roof down unless that's in place. And then this is how much trunk space that you get while the roof is in the down position. And so it only takes up about half of the space in the trunk. I think that's pretty remarkable. And some of the trunks that don't work that I've noticed, let me just rephrase this. Some of the roofs that are broken and then won't come down, it's because this can't be appropriately put into place. And I've seen these on E-classes, SL classes, and SLKs. So they have like a system in here that kind of like air struts. You can hear them, you can't see them. And then if those go bad, it can prevent it from notifying the car that the roof is, or that this luggage carrier is closed. Okay. Right-hand drive. It's weird. I have a right-hand drive Golf, actually, that I drive in Canada, which is kind of weird as well. So red and black, pretty stunning looking. All of the switch gear and stuff like that is nice looking in this car. This is a step down in price from the SL, but it doesn't really feel that way. In fact, the same generation of SL, whenever I look at them, I don't really like them that much. I like the looks of them quite a bit, but I get in the car and it feels like, I wish this was a little bit higher quality, and I don't get that feeling in the SL. So the seat, you can see, is a little bit shiny here, so that needs to be cleaned up. Here's the cracking that they're talking about compared to your average leather seat side bolster. That is basically nothing. Okay. Passenger seat is in good condition, but the passenger seat has a problem. it actually, there's something wrong with the sensor system, and you can't put the seat far enough back. You can see it's kind of far away from the wall. If you try to move that seat leaned back more, like the driver's seat is right now, then the seat will move itself forward, thinking it needs to give itself a little bit more room. Kind of weird. Here on the top is what they were talking about with the steering wheel peeling. It can be a little bit difficult to see in the video though. Gauges look nice. It's a good car for large people. You can put the seat way back and very far down. So it gives you a lot of headroom. Dashboard is all fine. Typical Mercedes. Mercedes is kind of funny because they sell so many cars, but they're all so similar. You sit in a Mercedes, you feel like you've sat in them all. Okay. There's a few scratches on this. There's dual zone climate control. The AC works. Power steering works. Actually, everything works other than that silly seat. Some scratches here. E-brake is good. Here's how you open the top. Power folding mirrors. You can't get these in a manual transmission, whether it be an AMG or a regular. It does have shift yourself buttons on the back of the steering wheel if you want to. Then a few scratches here. Okay, smells like air freshener in here. These things have little dots in them. I don't know why they decided to do that. Let's give a little space where the sun can still blind you. I don't know. Maybe it's a design thing. Today I am wearing a blue shirt. Blue and white shirt. Since we're all working from home right now, I don't have to wear my regular business clothes. Okay. 12 minutes. That's too long for this video. I'm going to wrap it up here. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to show you the underside of this bumper because I forgot. Here. There's the tape. And it's actually scratched a lot because the vehicle's quite low. There's another piece of tape. And then the other side, the same thing. There's the tape. And I got pictures of this as well. And this side skirt barely has any scuff on it. Right under here. And you probably won't be able to see very much because it's dark under there. And look at how low that suspension is. Tire's just barely in there. And as far as I can tell, it doesn't rub. We have a special rub tester in our lot because of the angle. This is like on a hill, and that's on a hill. And when you pull a car out, a car that's going to rub will rub there. And this one doesn't. Okay, so there we have it. Of course, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.